was a big performance during a pretty big game. We heard that he was doing the Super Bowl in what, September or something like that.
Yeah,
So
somewhere around there.
we let me tell you the historic run Kendrick has been on in the midst of the beef with Drake has been incredible. Like his momentum that you don't quite see based on a beef. Honestly, the only thing I can compare it to is when 50 Cent came out the gate and just went nuclear on Ja Rule out. I mean,
Yeah.
just from the jump. And the historic run he had when he came out, 50 Cent has one of the kids go back and look it up. 50 Cent has one of the greatest debuts of all time when you're talking about album, when you're talking about
Mhm.
having a hit, when you're talking about the controversy, how much he was in the news and stuff. Get Rich or Die Trying is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard, and for my money, is the greatest debut of any rapper ever. It surpasses Reasonable Doubt, all of them to me.
Right.
But this run here is probably second. You can argue that it's first because of the awards that come with it, but it's just a way. It reminds me of one of my favorite scenes. Not one of my favorite movies, definitely one of my favorite scenes when Achilles fought Hector in Troy. And
Ooh.
at the end, when he ties his feet up to the yeah, it reminds me. It paraded him around, and that's
He
what it
dragging
was.
his ass.
And the finale of all of this, which I believe this is the end because he does end with game over
Mhm.
in letters in the audience, was this Super Bowl performance, which I anticipated this is where it ended, and it appears to be where it ended. I'm gonna get your thoughts first on Kendrick's Super Bowl performance where he humiliated Drake possibly for one last time.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself, man. It was phenomenal in my eyes. I know a lot of people, back home. Shout out my fellow Louisianimals. A lot of people wanted Wayne, for obvious reasons,
Yeah,
and I understand. And then even after the show, like a lot of people were complaining and stuff. Oh man, I wanted to be more entertained than that. Well, you missed all the messages, bro, and that's
mm.
okay. Like people talking about, well, I got the messages, I just still wanted to be entertained. I'm like, well, cry about it, bro. Like it's okay. Like ain't nothing you could do now, dog. It's over with. But I thoroughly enjoyed the performance. The visuals were on point. All the messages were on point. The only thing I had a little bit of a gripe about was that you know the music was kind of louder than he was, which that's okay, right? I
I
mean, it's
peeped that
not
out
really
too.
like a concert, you know what I'm saying? But beside that, I had no complaints. I've loved K Dot for a long time. Loved all of his projects, except for To Pimp a Butterfly. That was kind of weird to me. But hey, he's doing
Man, he
no
go
wrong right
mad.
now, bro. Like
Man,
you said,
he
he.
goes mad. Talking about the Pimp Butterfly. You know what's crazy about this beef? Drake mentions that to Pimp Butterfly is it a great album. He
Facts.
says that in one of his songs, and that is completely overshadowed. I remember I listened to Money Jones, and when he heard Drake sing that, he was prepared on his next episode to dissect just that part of it. And of course,
Mhm.
Kendrick dropped like two songs back to back, and Money brings it up. He's like, I was ready to talk about and fully analyze the Pimp a Butterfly, but Kendrick just ruined it. Um, so for starters, having um Samuel Jackson be Uncle Sam, but in a way that apparently he reprised his role from a Spike Lee movie called Chirac, which I saw a little
Mhm.
bit of it. I wasn't impressed, but I
Right.
thought that was awesome. Here's, because we can go a little bit deeper on this, pause. Um, I've never seen somebody do this type of performance at the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it's very artistic. Like I would think I would see this at the VMAs or the Grammys or something like that. I never thought I would see something like this at the Super Bowl. The camera work was way different from any other Super Bowl performance we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
This was a cinematic experience, which is why it's perfect for us to be reviewing it right now.
Facts.
The closeness and the intimacy between the camera and Kendrick and all the performers, very cinematic. Like it starts off with the camera, focused in on Samuel, and then it goes to Kendrick in this wide shot where they're on the where he comes in on the lowrider.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's this by Chevy, whatever it was. Then you got out, it was basically a clown car because you had all the Crips and Bloods and the people wearing white, I'm assuming are the Caucasians in our nation. You had all of those people jump out, and then they get on the stage. You think you're going to see something regular, but the camera keeps going after Kendrick, and it's just perfectly shot. Like I think in all of this, because a lot of people really don't analyze things like in the film the way you and I do, right? This is why you're here.
Right.
It was a cinematic experience to see that. The unmitigated gall to decide to tell a story surrounding a beef, that takes some real cojones to just say, oh, I'm going to tell a story at the Super Bowl, and y'all just going to take this ride with me. Here's what I like about it. We go from the political messages to Uncle Sam basically saying, this is the biggest performance of your life. Don't mess it up. And then Kendrick proceeds to do the things like have a political message and find himself in a predicament where he could be sued again to quote unquote mess it up. I thought that was dope.
Facts.
I thought that was dope. Like that's really cool that he did that. But boy, the teasers building up, and again, the story is surrounding this one single. Like you had SZA come out, they did Luther together, and then they did All the Stars, which I believe. To be honest, that's probably my favorite Kendrick song because of how I felt at the end of Black Panther, and they use that song. I've always, again, I just talked about it, using the song in the credits. Yeah, it's just dope. And I thought about Chadwick, in that moment, but
every time I hear it, man.
Every time, I actually watched a movie a couple weeks ago, I think. Yeah. And I get to the credit. Every time I get to the credits, I get goosebumps, man, because it's just
man.
Yeah, all right. We little derailment here, just a little bit of a derailment. The way that movie feels, the magnitude of how that movie feels, and when those credits come together, you can tell when the movie just came together perfectly and everybody was on the same page. And you felt like family coming out of there. And when you're going through the credits, you finally get to the part where they're making the I guess vibranium sculptures of everybody.
Right.
It's just so cool in the part of the song that comes on when they get to that part. Just thinking about it, man, it's dope. So we're gonna go to the antithesis of that. Kendrick, when Sam says, "You almost there, kid," basically, don't F this up, and then they play the first chord, and then Sam is like, "Wait a minute." When I tell you, you can look at that part of their performance, you can look on Kendrick's face and how he's talking. He couldn't wait to get to that song. He couldn't wait. Then you have his background dancers, like their voices coming up, like you really gonna do it, like it. But when that beat dropped, I couldn't do it. This is my experience. I just started shaking my head. I just started shaking. That's all I could do, man. I just started shaking my head. What happened? Like, how was it for you?
Yeah, man. I just knew he was in that mode, bro.
He
And
was.
like, I'm more surprised that he did the censored version, if anything else, because I
Oh
thought
nah,
he
he
was
wasn't
going
gonna
all the
touch
way
that.
over the top.
He ain't gonna challenge the FCC. Nah, he ain't that or the NFL. The NFL would erase you because we still had heard from old girl from Paper Planes.
Oh, yeah, it's over with.
What's her
Haley Williams,
name,
whatever her
man?
name is.
No, not her.
No. You right.
They swagger like us. They used her. Is it's not Santa Gold, is it? I think it is Santa Gold. Whatever her name was, Mia. That's her name. If I, that's her
Yeah,
name.
MIA, yeah.
When I tell you they banished her to the shadow realm after she did this shit, we ain't heard from her since then, man. I feel like she was deported. I think she was deported for real. After they did the NFL said, look, NFL looked at her like, all right, you had that one. Watch this.
Never again.
Never again. Jay-Z don't take up for her nothing. She just gone. That girl
Okay.
disappeared, man. Right after that. Oh, which that was crazy because she wasn't that big to begin with, at least over here. But yeah, he wasn't gonna do that. But he started. I mean, and it was just the viciousness in which he went at it. And the part I was waiting on, because the crowd went nuts when the beat dropped in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
The part I was waiting on was A minor, and they did not disappoint. Loud as hell. And then when the music cut, my daughter said, "Now that's petty." She said, "That's petty right there." They ain't have to drop the beat completely just so we could hear it.
Yep.
And my favorite lyric on there is when he says certified pedophile, wop, 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 I'm on the tough. When he say that
Yeah.
part, man, like, yeah, you are on him tough at this point, man. You kicking his ass. But man,
Kicking a white down, man.
then he brings out Serena Williams.
Oh man, shout out Serena, man.
Do you know how long ago it was that Drake said something about her husband? That
It's
was
been a
so long
while
ago. That was so long ago, man. And she came back and looking direct. I know she was looking at Drake. Like, yeah, I remember that shit. I'm a stun on you too. Then since I already singing with him, another ex. It was, and even with all of that, it's brilliant artistry to me. Like, and I'm not.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
want to just go on the record. Unlike you, I'm not really a Kendrick fan. Like, I think he's a great artist, but I'm not really a Kendrick fan like him. That was a damn good performance. I'll tell you that.
Thanks.
And then of course he brings Mustard out, which is the other viral thing he has going on. And I thought that was cool. But yeah, he did a great job. I like the part when they were inside of one of those shapes, because that's another thing you had to notice. He was going inside of all of the different shapes at the beginning. Like it was a triangle. I just had a fucking epiphany. That's the PlayStation
The
book.
PlayStation shit, yep. Yeah, I read something about that earlier, man. Yep. Little PlayStation buttons.
I'm about to rate this.
It keeps going, man.
This performance is an unapologetically superb performance. It is. It's a 5 out of 5.
It keeps going.
I didn't think about that because I even caught the little some people were swastikas that when they crashed to the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, I even caught that. I did not catch the PlayStation controller, but and of course it lends itself to when he says it's game over. Like that, bro, is one of I don't know where you're rank because if we going off of like great Super Bowl halftime performance, you got Michael Jackson,
Right.
Aerosmith, let's see, Beyonce, the one where she shut down,
cut the power off.
That one. What was another one? Bruno Mars had a good one.
Right.
Let's see. Dr. Dre has one of the best. Dr. Dre's top 5, easily.
Yeah,
he has one of the best ones.
Yeah.
And then my personal goal is the Prince one. The Prince
Right.
one is it's just from an artistry standpoint, from a performance standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
the clouds parting and it's starting to rain as he's singing Purple Rain is ridiculous. A performance that they were worried they weren't going to be able to even do because of the rain. And
Mm-hmm.
there we go. And so that's my did you want to render a score to it, my friend?
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, unapologetically superb, bro. It actually just passed Mike for the most viewed halftime show of all time. So
That's crazy.
the numbers
Crazy.
speak for itself, man. I'm not saying it was
Yeah,
better than Mike's, but
me neither. Me neither.
the numbers, bro. The numbers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really think more about where I would personally rank it.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's where I'm at.